All right, Jam Cam family, Deaf Talent Jam History Channel. This is the Fedora Filipino, and we're at our fifth and final venue stop. We're here at the Phillips Hall, and not just 12 hours ago, I'm standing in the place of the first place winners of Deaf Talent Jam 30. How do I know that? Because I was there, and you can see there's rose petals on the ground. Now, I'm very, very excited to be at this fifth and final stop because this is where Deaf Talent Jam History Channel began. At least in my mind. It actually didn't start out that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a history. So here's how it starts. The Fedora Filipino started 10 years ago here. Now, why did I call myself that? I didn't want to announce my name. I wanted something that represents me, of what I like and who I am. I love to wear fedoras, and I'm Filipino. So the Fedora Filipino was born. There you go. There's some trivia for you. And I was here for Deaf Talent Jam 20. So 10 years ago, I was here at this location, not knowing what to expect. Not knowing what I was doing. All I know is that Deaf Talent Jam deserved more than just somebody videoing and taking pictures. It deserved more because of the foundation that we laid in 1993 and being able to come back. And that was the other thing. As the first president of UCF-FSA, and a co-founder, I competed. I watched it in 93, competed in 95, and won it with, my good friends, Ken Paganiban K-Dog and Veric Rossetti in 97, as you saw in the previous videos, at the Holiday Inn. And now it is exploded. We're now out of the University Auditorium. And so, through some research, I found out, I believe it was in 2010. So 2010, the theme was Vices and Virtues, and it all started here at a brand new venue at the Phillips Hall. So let me go back to the story. So this is Deaf Talent Jam 20. I'm standing in the parking lot right over there. And I don't remember if I invited someone. I honestly don't. No, I think I did. I think it was Scotty. I think it was Scotty. Scotty Pasal. He showed up, and he was, I believe he was the cameraman for me at the time, before Ken took over. And so, I invited him because I haven't been to one since the last time I competed was in 1998. So all those years, I didn't know what to expect. I knew they were just dancing. And I wanted to elevate where we were, Deaf Talent Jam, back in the day to where we are now. So 10 years ago, I had this vision. I'm thinking, you know what? I've watched all these Oscar shows. And what do they show you on the Oscar shows? They show you the red carpet. There's reporters around. There's people behind stanchions, and they're cheering for their, the actresses and actors and other guests that are coming down the red carpet. And what are they doing? They're doing interviews. They're doing interviews before the actual Oscars happen. They're doing interviews in between, acceptance speeches or whatever they're doing on stage. And then what do they do after? They interview the winners. So guess what? I wanted Deaf Talent Jam. The vision was the Deaf Talent Jam to be more than just, let's watch you on stage. There's more to Deaf Talent Jam that people don't realize. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Those of you who are watching and have been part of that, give me an amen. That's right, amen, brother and sister, because there's so much that goes into Deaf Talent Jam that people just don't realize. And I wanted to show that. I wanted to show the emotions, the reality of what people have to go through, the fun, the crying, the laughter, the disappointment, all those things that go along with doing a performance and competing, whether you're an exhibition team or competing team. So that's where that all started. And the students of today and people through Deaf Talent Jam, they need to know the history of Deaf Talent Jam History Channel that I created, because it's important. Knowing your roots is very, very important. And that's the reason why for Deaf Talent Jam 30, I created the 30 for 30. So 30 for 30, there it is. And so far I got like 14 or 15 stories. I want more of your stories. I want you to tell me how and what you did here at the Curtis Phillips Hall, or maybe it was at the Florida Theater, or the University Auditorium, or in the Holiday Inn, or back all the way back in the day in the Orange and Brew. I want to hear your story. Your story is what brings the experience alive for our Deaf Talent Jam. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you some swag. Now I know it's raining, and they're going to have a hard time at Doble today on this slippery ground. But let me go ahead and put it down. Hopefully I won't get it too wet. So this is a playbill as well as a ticket to the Deaf Talent Jam 21. All right, here we go. Let me put it down. There it is. Deaf Talent Jam 21 Hall of Fame. And there's the ticket here at the Curtis Phillips Hall way back in the day, Saturday, October 26, 2013. Now the next piece I'm going to show you is something that we never got or didn't have the vision for it. They have merch. Yes. To come to a Deaf Talent Jam, not only to see the show, but to get the t-shirt. I love t-shirts. I love t-shirts of events that I go to. And so I've done so far 5 or 6 Deaf Talent Jams, and each one of them are special because of the merch. So I'm going to carefully put this down, and we're going to show you the merch. So here's the merch for Deaf Talent Jam 21. UFFSA presents Deaf Talent Jam 21 Hall of Fame. There's the playbill and the ticket. And now let me go ahead and turn it around. Because on the back, we have, that's right, all of the competing teams. This is cool. That's why this is so special, because if you got this t-shirt back in 2013 and you were on one of these teams, then you definitely wanted a t-shirt along with some of these sponsors over here. So again, it's very, very, very special to be back here after 10 years. So I'm celebrating an anniversary of first starting the vision of Deaf Talent Jam History Channel. Now, it didn't start like that. Again, I didn't know what I was doing, and I had different channels that were relatable to, Filipino Student Association alumni. I had like 2 or 3 different channels, and it wasn't very succinct. So finally, the thought came up, you know what? There's history channels out there, and with those history channels, why don't we actually have a Deaf Talent Jam History Channel? Let's put that history together in this one website on YouTube. And so what I've been doing over the past, 6 months, I've been researching and trying to get as much information as possible to put this timeline together. Now, what you're going to get at the bottom in the comments is the actual viewing of this timeline that I've created. It's incomplete. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not that flashy, meaning there's no videos on it. There's no pictures of people. There's only Walter and me and Ken at the end. But basically, it tells you the different Deaf Talent Jams, as well as who the winners are, and even some of that is incomplete. But at least it shows you this timeline of 30 years, 30 years of this wonderful venue that Walter Buchholz created back in 1993. So I am very, very, very proud of this nostalgic moment, knowing that we are part of this history. We're part of a legacy that can be passed on for generations, literally generations. 30 years? Yes, generations. There are now, and we've seen it, there are children of the past members of whatever FSA that come in to Curtis Phillips Hall and compete. That's how it's generational. The legacies that come through, the people brand new to Deaf Talent Jam, where mainly Filipinos are competing, and here we are 30 years later, and see the diversity, the inclusion of different people, different backgrounds. It's so enriching, and the number one thing that brings us all together is dance. And that dance translates into some beautiful sets that we've seen over the past 10 years. Now again, half of it has been live, where I've done videoing here along with Ken and Scotty, and then the other half is literally due to different obligations I had, that I just had to watch it on video. But again, nothing beats live. So I encourage you, anybody who's watching this right now, if you know anything about Deaf Talent Jam, or interested in it and have never seen a competition like this, it's the biggest one in the Southeast for student associations, and mainly Filipino student associations. Now, it's not just for Filipino student associations, it's for groups that want to go ahead and compete. And it's a great testament to who we are, Filipinos, but as Asian Americans, that we represent our culture, we represent our love for dance, and just to have fun. That's it, just to have fun. And that's why we are here, Ken, Varric, and I, the other OGs. I hear the pictures here, and here of what we watched last night. And so I know I'm rambling, but it's very, very important for you to know that this moment right now is historic, that I'm standing here 10 years later, and here we are at Deaf Talent Jam 30. All right, it's the Jam Cam, and so here's my vision, okay? So hear me out. Here's my vision. My vision is to leave the Curtis Phillips Hall and go even bigger. Let's go bigger. The O'Connell Center. Yes, I said it. Because I've seen shows of UF Visa talent shows. I'm like, if they're competing there, why isn't Deaf Talent Jam competing there? We can definitely hold more than 1,700 people in this space. We've been here now 2010. This is now 2022. All right, let's see a vision for the future, and let's go big. Go big or go home. And we've done that for 5 different venues over the span of 30 years. Let's do this, people. So those of you from UF, FSA, and Deaf Talent Jam committees, let's think. Let's think, how can we get this bigger? And let's do some different things that makes us innovative as well. I would love to talk to you about that, as well as some of the other alumni who have been a part of Deaf Talent Jam all those years ago, up until now, like myself, being involved like this. So we want to go ahead and support you, because Deaf Talent Jam means so much to us. And yeah, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, this is the Fedora Filipino at the last stop over the last 30 years here at the Curtis Phillips Hall. It's very, very quiet now, but the videos that you guys are gonna see, oh man, they're gonna blow your mind. Now, we're gonna go ahead and put together the interviews as well as the performances. Now, it's gonna take some time because we gotta do some editing, so please, please, please be be gracious enough to wait, you can go ahead and find these videos of the performances, of course, on UFFSA's website, or no, on their YouTube channel. That's right, on their YouTube channel. Wow, 30 years. What an exciting show last night. You guys will be able to see that. Okay, the Fedora for Filipino. It's Jam Cam. Bye-bye.